Cock-a-doodle-doo, it's your boy, D-Train, Daniel Ehrenberg, on the ones and the twos, ready to talk 50 Shades. Saw 50 Shades Freed in theaters by myself. What an experience.
Hey, and it's your boy on the 319 bus down the shore, and it is Henry Papali here, and I saw the same movie myself in the theater by myself. And that was an experience. We'll share both of ours. Neither of us has told each other, of course, what it was like. So.
But first, let's talk about 50 Shades Darker, right?
Oh, you don't want to even... Oh, right, of course, yes.
Yeah.
By the way, this is episode 88.
Oh, whatevs. All right. Eric Lindros's number for all my Philadelphia Flyers fans.
Oh, there you go.
All right, 50 Shades D, as I like to call it. Get that D in there.
Shade DP.
Listen, so the first movie comes out, 50 Shades of Grey. We talked about it last week on our great episode with the great Shandy Lamperley. Listen to her on the broadcast. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
So that movie comes out. It's a big hit, but E.L. James, or E.L. Fudge, as we like to call her, she had a tough time with the making of that movie because they didn't make it exactly to her specifications.
No, they did not.
No. So, using her power of producer, she got, what's her face? Scout Taylor Compton. What's her name? Sam Taylor Johnson?
You do realize Scout Taylor Compton's somebody else.
Yeah, that's the girl from the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Oh, all right, okay. All right, yeah.
What's her name? She got Sam
Taylor Johnson, yeah.
the director, fired.
Ooh, didn't know that.
Yep, and she got the writer, who I think did her best, Kelly Marcel. She got fired too. So we have a whole new creative team. New writer, Niall Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with this guy's credits?
No, I'm not.
One of them is he's married to E.L. James.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. That's right.
That's why I couldn't look him up, because he's nobody.
Yeah, she gets her husband hired to write the movie, meaning she probably wrote the movie.
Sure.
He has written some stuff. He's worked on a British TV. He was a staff writer on Monarch of the Glen and Wire in the Blood. Some of the shows you might remember from the British TV section in the DVD department at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, I think they're all on Netflix now. Yeah. All right. That's right. Wire in the Blood, Monarch on the Glen.
Yeah,
okay.
all those.
This isn't a stretch from that, then.
No. So Niall Leonard, the man who presumably finally took E.L. James's virginity after so many years of strife and trying. Although, as Shandy had to say, he didn't take her virginity.
Oh, right.
Right. She just had sex for the first time at age 50 with Niall Leonard. Okay. Now, we got a new director, too.
We do.
Yeah. And if I told you that the director of the 50 Shades prequels... Oh, they are prequels. I like it. If I told you that we now have the guy who directed Glengarry Glen Ross, you might not believe me, but it is true.
No, that would be a joke.
It's James Foley.
It's James fucking Foley.
Now,
done more than one good movie. Not me anymore.
I assume we hired him because he is a specialist at fingering scenes. He did direct Fear, which has the greatest fingering scene in film history when Mark Wahlberg fingers Reese Witherspoon on the Ferris wheel. Okay. Now, he tries to top himself many times in 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed. His digits are always right up inside of her. But I don't think he does. I think Fear is still the top fingering scene.
Okay. All right.
Let's go through his credits.
Let's do it. We'll do good, great, or never seen, because I know that's going to happen a lot.
Okay.
You want me to go?
Oh, please.
All right, Reckless.
I've never seen that.
Never seen it.
All right.
At Close Range.
I've never seen it, but it's supposed to be good, right?
Yes, I saw it many years ago, but I remember liking it, and I mean many years ago. So, but I'll stick with my opinion of 1996.
1986.
No, but that's when I saw it. Would have been like 96 or 95, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Who's That Girl?
All right, horrible.
Didn't see it. Can't imagine that it's good. That's Madonna.
James Foley was a good friend of Madonna's for a long time. Maybe still. He directed a lot of those early videos. Papa Don't Preach. Yeah, a few other ones. I think maybe Like a Virgin. I could be wrong on that one.
Wow.
But he also well known for being the best man at her wedding to Sean Penn.
Really?
Yes.
Well, and he knows Sean Penn from At Close Range.
That's right. Maybe he introduced
them.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. The next movie is excellent, and actually oddly made in one of Roger Ebert's book, made his like overlooked films of the 90s or whatever. It's called After Dark, My Sweet.
I don't know that movie.
It's with Jason Patric and Bruce Dern and Rachel Ward.
Jason Patric, I'm listening now.
Anyway, it's an excellent cheapy thriller. It's very good. After Dark, My Sweet.
Okay.
Very, very much recommend. And then the one after that is one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably yours too. I don't know. Glengarry Glen Ross.
I wouldn't say of all time, but it is a great film.
It is of mine. And that's where my confidence.
I feel like I can't call Glengarry Glen Ross one of my favorite movies of all time. I
thought you were gonna say because it's like David Mamet that like more at the helm.
No, and I mean sure, but you have to give James Foley credit. Like this guy's not a bad filmmaker. You'd think he was after watching 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed. Mm-hmm. These movies have no depth. I mean, I'm not even talking about like the characters and shit. Just like the vision
or the penetration.
They look like fucking Melrose Place episodes.
They really
do.
They really do. But finish your thought on Glengarry Glen Ross.
I don't know. I was gonna say something about movies like that because I always equate Glengarry Glen Ross with like Wall Street and like Boiler Room. I don't even like it as much as those two. But
really,
yeah.
Okay.
But it's great.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? 2 Bits? I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
All right.
The Chamber.
Oh, a fine Chris O'Donnell film from the 90s. I have seen that.
Never saw it.
It's pretty bad. But Fear is great.
Never saw it.
Great. Then
The Corruptor.
The Corruptor. I saw that. That's Chow Yun-Fat and Mark Wahlberg, I think.
I don't think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
It's a hard R. You gotta give it credit for that, but it's bad. Yeah, then there's Confidence, which is that one. It's like a con man movie.
That is terrible.
It's bad, but it is notable for being the primest Rachel Weisz that exists.
Oh, really?
She's never looked better than she does in Confidence.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw it in theaters, actually. I don't know why, and never saw it again. I hated it so much. So
that's crazy. She looks so good on the DVD cover to that movie that I almost bought that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
and that's some creepy shit.
Yeah, that is. That is. Well, you admit it.
Yeah. Then he did Perfect Stranger. Look, now his career is going downhill, okay?
Oh,
Perfect Stranger with Halle Berry, one of those horrible post-Oscar movies she made.
Yeah, with Balky and what's the other guy in Perfect Strangers?
Larry.
Right.
Balky, right, yeah, Balky and Larry. Oh. Then he worked in TV for a while, directed some Hannibal, some House of Cards.
Wayward Pines.
Some Billions. Yeah, he directed like the big episode of Wayward Pines from the first season where they like reveal what's going on.
Yeah, it got me in. Yeah. I watched the first season.
Yeah, I watched both.
And he watched. He or presumably watched an episode of Twin Peaks.
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. A late season 2 episode of Twin Peaks, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
And now that brings us up to date. So James Foley, a weird career that's led him to this.
Very weird,
but led him to a couple of hit movies. You know what I'm saying? He escaped the clutches of, the golden age of TV to make some of the worst movies ever. Yeah,
why not? Sure.
Not to reveal my opinions on these movies.
No. Seeing his name, though, did bring up something to me right away when it was, revealed on the screen, because I didn't know beforehand. And it reminded me of how personality-less these movies are. So I was thinking of other directors that probably should have made this movie, and it would have been just as appropriate. You want to hear who I think would have been, I would like to have seen their 50 Shades take?
I have a name in mind, and I assume yours is going to be a joke. But I have a legit name that I think could have made something out of these movies.
Okay, I don't have a legit name. Yeah, no, I have one. I have one legit name.
Okay.
Okay, so
what are you gonna say? Wes Anderson?
No. Ron Howard.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna give me just directors that have no style?
Yeah,
I love it.
Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner.
Okay.
Carl Reiner.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now these guys don't necessarily not have a style. Some of them are great. But
I'll throw one out there. Alan Parker.
Ooh, nice choice.
Yeah, thank you.
My serious one was going to be, I had two serious ones. David Cronenberg.
Love it.
Love to see some body horror in this. More body horror.
Too.
And the Coen brothers.
Sure.
Gary Marshall, Penny Marshall, any of the Marshalls?
I'd have loved to see Gary Marshall's take on this. All the dates would take place on holidays. And,
right.
You know that guy Taylor who drives them around all the time?
Yeah.
Hector Elizondo.
Hector Elizondo. In a DeLorean, if it's Zemeckis, who was my final one.
No, Zemeckis, he would have done it as a cartoon.
Right. You mean like how it was done?
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. No, are you kidding me? None of these characters are animated. All right.
Wow. Just doing it today.
I'm quick. All right.
All right.
It was 50 Shades Darker was released 1 year ago on this day of recording, Henry.
Oh, is that right?
So we celebrate the 1 year anniversary of 50 Shades Darker's release. February 10th, 2017.
If you would have told me on February 10th last year that we'd be covering this now, I don't think I would have believed you.
I would have.
I knew we'd cover it eventually. And that we would match up with the anniversary. That's pretty impressive.
It's amazing.
And completely intentional.
Yes. A budget of $55 million.
Well, that Red Room costs a lot of money.
Yeah, that's too high. What are they spending money on?
That apartment?
Yeah, the apartment's big. But it's all interiors, these fucking movies.
Yeah, it's a soundstage. I don't know.
Danny Elfman?
Yeah. He got the like $35 million for this.
E.L. James. I bet you all that fucking money's going to E.L. James's pocket.
Probably.
Yeah.
Her
ample pockets. Yeah.
Her big cat sweater pockets.
Oh, okay. A box office of $381.1 million, Henry.
Damn.
Big hit. Even bigger overseas there. At the domestic box office, it came in at number 27 for the year. It did a little bit better than Baby Driver, but not quite as good as Girls Trip.
Okay.
Should I see Girls Trip?
I'm not going to.
People keep telling me to. I'm gonna love this Tiffany Haddish.
No, you're more into giving those things a chance than I am, so you should do it. Yeah.
When I run out.
When you run out.
Yeah. Okay, so we open. Oh no, Christian is having a bad dream. All right.
Right.
Yeah. He's having a bad dream of his past. We get some flashbacks to Christian Grey's traumatic past in this movie. I would say in this movie, more than even the first and third movie, nothing happens the entire movie. So you might recall that at the end of the first movie, they came to a standstill because he could not let go of his sadomasochistic ways.
Right.
And she sought a vanilla relationship from him.
That's right.
Right. So at the beginning of this movie, Christian goes to her and is like, hey, what if we have a vanilla relationship? And she's like, that's cool, and we can sprinkle some BDSM in there. And he's like, sounds good to me. And then they never have a conflict again for the rest of this series.
Right. It's like they've baked a vanilla cake and sprinkled it with some nipple rings. As candles.
It's true. Yeah. There's
wax candles. There's hot oil.
Okay. There's a pretty cute anal bead scene in this movie.
Wait, was that the note I wrote? I wrote a note. Now I don't remember. They bludgeon you to death with the BDSM in these final two. I wrote a note that said vaginal sleigh bells.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, the vaginal sleigh bells.
I think she goes out to dinner with him or something.
Yes, right.
She's loving it.
Yeah, she had a good time.
She just doesn't like things rough. Like the only problem they have at all in these movies, in the 50 Shades Freed, at one point she accuses him of that wasn't love. We didn't make love just now. That was revenge.
Right.
And she's like, you know what, you're right. And then everything's totally cool.
Yeah, just like everything's totally cool inexplicably between her friend Jose and Christian, who Christian attacked in the first movie.
Well, that's mostly in the third one. We'll get to fucking Jose.
But you see it in this one. I mean, honestly, they're all a blur. I mean, it's one big movie.
Well, let me walk us through this.
Please do.
All right, 50 Shades Darker. We open with a gorgeous cover of The Scientist by Coldplay.
Okay.
All right? Mm-hmm. I'm loving that. And, of course, all I'm thinking about is how now Chris Martin from Coldplay is boning the shit out of Dakota Johnson.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
So he left the Paltrow for that. Okay.
It was all yellow.
Looking at clocks.
Viva la vida. Oh, baby.
Look at Earth from outer space.
Oh. Yeah, I'm talking.
Look into my eyes.
A rush of blood to which head? What are we talking about here?
Oh, no. Oh, there's some Coldplay going on here. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's enough. Hey, so I have a problem with Anna's work situation here.
Yeah.
She's now working. You might recall she was a lit major.
Yeah.
So now she's working at a publisher's. Okay.
Yeah, very good job. Very good job right out of college. Good
really
for you,
great job. Bruce Altman is her boss.
Yeah, who could ask for anything more?
And her boyfriend, Christian Grey, buys the company and gives her mad raises.
Right.
One after the other. Here's my problem. Her work friend, her best friend at work.
Oh, Hannah?
Yeah.
Which every time they said Anna. Hey,
yeah.
Anna. Hi, Hannah.
Our main character's name is Anna. We can't name her friend Hannah and never remark upon that.
It's a problem.
What the fuck?
It happens a lot, too, where they don't even have any dialogue in between. It's like, hey, Anna. What's up, Hannah?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Couldn't have called her Jessica or something?
Yeah, come on. Just give her any other name.
Or they couldn't have given Dakota a line where it's like, hey, your name rhymes with my name. Isn't that alliteration?
It's not alliteration, but
it isn't. It isn't, but she would think it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, what else happens in this movie? Oh, so there's that scene. One of my other problems with her at work is, oh right, she's got that boss in this one. Okay, so he becomes like the villain of the trilogy, which is weird because they don't introduce him until the second movie.
Which also, if you didn't see the parallels in the very creative name construction, his name is Jack Hyde, Hyde.
That's right. So instead of Jekyll and Hyde, it's Jack Hyde.
Yeah, he's the Mr. Hyde.
And the Jekyll.
And the Jekyll.
So, in case you couldn't guess from his name, he's really has multiple personalities.
But that comes from E.L. James's deep respect of English literature and American literature and all in between.
Yeah, like Jane Austen and Jack
name dropping
London.
Dead authors.
Yeah. But you know what she really has a deep respect for? Fan fiction. That's the world she came from.
It's true.
And in this movie, she suggests to her boss, why don't we publish some fan fiction?
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Good idea.
Because, they have a built-in audience. And then in the next movie, 50 Shades Freed, the book comes out and is a huge hit. And she gets another raise at work, and he's like, great job. And so, the 50 Shades of Grey, which is... based on Twilight fan fiction, now has a subplot about how commercially viable fan fiction can be.
It's very true. She's trying to, I don't know, she's giving back what she got. She wants to help out.
We're just eating our own tails.
Realize your dreams, people. Realize your dreams. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't just mean Christian Grey's nightmarish dreams, or the fact that he is in the red room is slipping the bass.
What are you talking about?
I worked that in early.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I wrote it for later.
Listen, he's having a lot of issues with these dreams, and so he decides he's going to tell Anastasia Steele about his past. Now, Henry, we thought he did that in the first movie.
Right, but remember I questioned, I doubted whether she actually was awake.
But I guess you were right. She was sleeping.
I was right. Yep.
So he does it with this one great line. My birth mother died when I was 4. She was an addict. Crack. You fill in the blanks.
Oh, I forgot about that explanation.
Yeah, you fill in the blanks. So
crack. You fill in the blanks.
That's right. She was an addict.
I don't want to fill in the blanks. You know what that line means? That means E.L. James had absolutely no interest in doing any research into like drug addiction whatsoever.
No, I mean E.L. James.
She's like, oh, crack. Yes, let's put crack in.
Is she British?
Of course she's British.
I didn't know that.
Are you joking? Yes. Oh, you didn't? Yeah.
No, I guess I just conflate her in my mind with Stephenie Meyer, who wrote Twilight. And she's a Mormon from Utah.
Oh, no. This one's a London, England gal. Yeah.
All right. E.L. James. One of the things... Did I talk about their cell phones last week?
I think we briefly raised the topic, but please do.
Listen, I meant to talk about it. It's so weird that 50 Shades of Grey came out in 2015, and everyone has the worst phones in the world. Every character is, like, hugely rich. And they're all talking away on, like, flip phones and Blackberries and shit.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Wonder what that's about. Maybe Android didn't want anything to do with it, or Apple. They just didn't want to be part of it.
But they do in this movie, because then, remember, he gets her a new iPhone.
Oh, right. Yep, sorry. Yep. Again, the movies blur for me, folks. They really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
One big shade.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite sex scenes from Darker?
From Darker? There's one sequence where I wrote down... there is a music pause and then a very loud beat before entry. And I believe what I meant was before he enters her body, or before something enters her body, there's like a bunch of hip hop or slow R&B playing, and it like comes to a screeching halt right before he enters, and then when he enters, it restarts.
Oh, I love that.
And that actually led into my note about him slipping her the BS, because the BS is there very prominently.
Oh, I got you.
So he was slipping the BS in the red room.
In the red room. In the red room. Irie. Okay. Now, I...
Get my red rum?
Yeah, of course. It's murder backwards. So...
It's the Shining, everybody.
I know. Hey, we could cover that soon, Hank.
How so?
They're making that movie Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining.
Oh, boy. Does that mean we're going to have to watch the TV? No, we won't.
Yeah, we're going to watch that Steven Weber thing.
One that Stephen King likes much more than
That's right.
Kubrick. I'm looking forward.
Okay. Right. There are a couple weird music cues with the sex in this movie, Henry.
Yeah, well, I said my favorite one, but fill me in.
Oh, my favorite one has to be, listen, you might think that her taking off her panties and him fingering her at dinner is sexy, right? Mm-hmm. But what would make it more sexy?
If you added some D'Angelo? I don't know.
No, you probably want Van Morrison fucking yowling moon dance at you. What the fuck?
Right! That was so weird. I forgot about that. 'Cause I'm a boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. It's a marvelous night for the anal. Yeah.
I enjoyed that joke.
Oh, yeah. He's really doing it.
Yeah.
He's giving her a moon dance.
Yeah, moon.
This is too easy.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So, the other... listen... I still have a problem with the lack of hard dick we're seeing in these movies. I want to bring it up again.
Just go for the NC-17.
No, forget it. You don't need it. You can just show a boner through jeans. The guy is constantly in that red room wearing tight-ass jeans, and he never takes off his fucking jeans. He's like a fucking never nude, like Arrested Development.
It's true. He really doesn't.
He's always wearing jeans. It's crazy.
Yeah.
To the point where at one time in 50 Shades Freed, we see his butt, and I'm like, oh, this guy has a fucking butt all of a sudden?
Yeah. He must have a clause in his contract or something. I don't really know.
But it's fucking bullshit, because this Dakota Johnson, I have every inch of her memorized at this point.
Me too. I could draw it from I just drew it right now on my pad. Yeah, from memory. Yeah. She certainly doesn't have a clause, I'll say that.
No.
No clause there.
No nothing.
Not even a Santa Claus.
My God.
All right.
I could draw her fucking labia from memory. We see her naked nude so much.
Whoa. We forgot something major, my friend. And I know if I don't bring it up now, we'll never bring it up.
What?
Why does Anna in this movie have a Chronicles of Riddick poster in the background?
Yo, I wrote that down, bro. No, it's not Anna.
Who is it? She's in the room.
Yes, but we're back at Christian's childhood house.
So it's his?
It's his shit. So, like, this is interesting. I read an interview with Jamie Dornan where he said he wanted to, like, butch up Christian, like, make him more manly in this movie.
Right, because he's so effeminate.
Which makes me think Jamie Dornan is, like, the most insecure piece of shit. Like, fuck this guy. So, like, So one of the things he specifically asked, like, the set decorators to do is put up a bunch of UFC posters in his bedroom. So there's, like, these vintage Ultimate Fighting Championship things.
I see.
But they also put a fucking Chronicles of Riddick poster.
It was so weird.
He just has Vin Diesel on his wall.
Yeah. Franchise crossover.
Vin Diesel. Yeah.
So strange. Yeah. Okay.
It is really weird. And I think it's also why we see him working out all the time in this movie.
He wants to look like Vin Diesel.
Oh my God. At one point he's doing those like body raises. And then like Dakota Johnson comes in and he's like
just staring at him.
Yeah, and he's just like, "Hey, you want to fuck on my pommel horse?"
There is so much gratuitous nudity and fucking in this movie, in these two movies, that and I don't mean gratuitous by the usual word. I mean, it's just overkill. Isn't that? It's just like so routine at this point.
It does get boring, and the movies are too long.
It's so boring.
The movies are too long. So like, at a certain point, I want more plot. Like I feel weird saying that, but like, listen, I always want more plot. Even in my porno days, Henry, I like the plot. I want the
setup.
I need a storyline. It could be simple. Just give me a storyline. And these 50 Shades movies, they're like softcore porn.
Right.
Really softcore. It's wannabe fucking porno.
Right.
And like there's no plot.
No, there's none.
So really like the stuff I was interested in this movie is like, okay, there's the thing with her boss, Jack Hyde.
Right.
And he's set up as like this major villain. He like tries to rape her.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, something's happening. But like we barely get any of him. And also like you think they're gonna like, oh, we're finally getting a villain in these movies? Who are we casting? Who's it gonna be?
Right.
Oh, okay. They got Whitney, Lana's boyfriend from the first season of Smallville.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't do better than that?
Well, he looks evil. I'll give him that.
What? He's just a handsome guy.
Yeah, he's got that kind of smarminess to him. No, I didn't have a problem with him.
I mean, he's fine, but like, I feel like you need a name for that role.
Yeah, probably. You know, you just reminded me of something when you were down here visiting, and we watched a little bit of Superbad, and how they said that they want. Jonah Hill says to Michael Cera, "What do you want with your pornos? Directed by the Coens? I'm sorry they haven't directed anything. And here we go. Maybe we could have used. Here's the movie. Here's your porno, directed by nobody.
That being said, you know what? It's interesting. I was gonna say, that being said, high school kids are probably jerking off to these movies, but they probably aren't. Like I probably would have in high school, but now. Like, internet porn is so prevalent.
Right.
That, like, nobody has to watch these movies.
Right. Yeah, this was kind of like an adolescent necessity had it been made in the 90s or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Not now.
Okay. So where were we? What were we talking about? Oh, so the other plot.
We were talking about the Golden Raspberry Awards.
No, the other stop it. The other plot that I was interested in, that is like barely in this movie.
Yeah.
Is Anastasia now has a stalker, and I'm like, where's this going? And she's played by this little waif, and she's following her around. She's being a creep, and then it turns out she's one of Christian's former subs.
Yeah, I love that. I love the shorthand.
Yeah.
Fucking subs.
And I was kind of fucking super into that idea. Like, all right, now we have a sequel plot.
Right.
But nothing. But
we don't.
We forget about that storyline for like an hour. Yeah. And then she like shows up in Christian's house with a gun, and I'm like, yes, please, let's do this. And she's referring to him as Master, which is kind of awesome.
Right.
And then
it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's the only tense movie in all three. Only tense moment, I'm sorry, in any of the movies. It was
tense. It worked.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's angry at Anastasia. She says, Master sleeps in your bed.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Ooh, it's great. And then he tells her, get on your knees. And I'm like, where is this going? I'm fucking in. And she gets on her knees and like hands over the gun and then lets them arrest her. And that's the end of that storyline.
Over.
What the fuck?
Done. 5 minutes. Finished. Yeah. That's like a lot of plots in here. You got Jack, you got Jose, you got the sub. They're in and out, man. In and out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In and out. Little the old in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Gone. 50 Shades gone.
The plot threads are looser than her butthole after the anal beads.
Remember when she gives him the keychain?
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
I thought, that he would take that the wrong way and think that it was a sex toy. She buys him a dirty keychain from some Seattle vendor out in the street.
Spencer Gifts, probably.
Right. the Spencer Gifts that does the outside vendor thing.
She bought that from
$1.
Yeah, from the Hot Topic street vendor.
So I'm surprised he took that in the correct manner and did not go.
No, there's no conflict.
No, there isn't. They're cool, man.
Every time you think something might go wrong, it just goes right.
Goes right. Yeah, that's true. It's very true. It's not that much darker. 50 Shades Darker. What's darker?
It's really not. It's lighter.
S&M, it's lighter.
It is lighter.
That title wouldn't have worked, though, right?
No.
It's 50 Shades Lighter. Lighter? What do they mean by that?
It's a nicer movie. Like, they get along better. They have no problem. Like, honestly, it makes the conflict in 50 Shades of Grey look a lot more interesting in hindsight. Yeah,
it does.
Because at least it's doing something. It has a point.
Right, which is probably why and this is a great topic for our show specifically, which we don't probably talk about enough. There's no reason that this ever needed to become a franchise. Ever.
Well, no.
I'm saying artistically. I'm not saying like why no monetarily. I'm just saying it's a one-off book. It's a one-off movie. Fine. It's done. It's over.
I couldn't agree more.
Trilogy?
And I'm going to ignore these other two going forward. I will tell you right now, Henry.
Yes.
At some point in my life, I'm going to be in the mood to watch a bad movie, and I'm going to put 50 Shades of Grey on and have a fun time.
Okay.
I will not rewatch these sequels.
Yeah. But see, to me, they're all sort of the same movie in a certain way, so it doesn't really matter.
I think 2 and 3 are the same movie. I think one has an element of silliness. And you know why? It's because 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed are a little more aware of their silliness, so they're adding like bad jokes and stuff. And I think 50 Shades of Grey plays it totally straight. It does the book and and that's I
think you're right. You're right. What I guess I mean is when I say you could throw any of them on is that I literally had the thought watching Darker and Freed that you could intersperse, you could fucking take the film reels of this, splice them together, and have the same fucking movie.
They were filmed back to back, Henry. Did you know
that? Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah.
So it's the third time in Universal Pictures history that they've done that.
And what were the other ones?
Obviously, the first time was Back to the Future, a little movie called Back to the Future.
You mean 2 and 3 were
right?
Yeah. And what was the other one?
I can't remember, man. It was something I wasn't expecting though, like a weird one.
Oh, it does happen though. That might just be Universal, but they've done that many times in other studios now.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna try and find that out for you.
I'm curious. Yeah, the Back to the Future really. The Back to the Future one slipped my mind, but we brought that up over a year ago, well over a year and a half ago. Yeah. Maybe No, I was going to say... I know. Wait, I didn't even look. Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Superman and Superman 2.
It's not that. Here.
But I thought they were.
Yeah, but that's not Universal. So this is it. Ready? I found it.
What?
Child's Play 2 and 3.
Can't wait.
Isn't that crazy?
That's great.
Oh
man, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but I mean, it has been done. The second and third Pirates of the Caribbean were done that way. I remember.
A couple of Marvel things have been done that way.
Yeah, and the Hobbits and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and like I said, I thought
the new Avengers of the Marvel ones. I could be wrong. Matrix, those second Matrix movies, we covered those.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, what else can we talk about here?
Well, I mentioned the keychain. Oh, I wanted to mention something. Yeah. So Christian has a birthday party. So it did occur to me that, they give him this big party.
His 28th birthday.
Right, I believe that. And I'm turning 29 this year. They're throwing him a bash, and everyone's glowing about him and saying what a great guy he is. And I made a note. I had to make a note. Why does everybody like this guy so much?
Well, nobody does, because Henry...
He's never done anything of evidence in the movie to be kind or friendly. I mean, he's an asshole to his sister. He's not very nice to his mother.
Well, he doesn't have any friends. I think that's notable.
Right, but and then poor Kim Basinger shows up.
Oh my God, we should talk about that.
That was so tragic. So tragic.
Looking, if I may, like Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct 2.
Listen,
I love Kim Basinger. I love Kim Basinger.
I love the halting right after that. Listen, hold on. Wait a second.
She's
Kim
great,
Basinger,
but she's just doing like the...
I know, the vamp.
Yeah, the like soap star thing. And like she's basically doing like Joan Collins in this fucking movie.
Yeah, she was my first boyhood crush.
What movie got you?
Batman.
Oh, that makes sense. Vicky Vale.
I was 10 or 11, yeah. And I had a giant poster of her on my wall as Vicky Vale. And then, of course, anything she was in, I was just trying to see as much as I could. Like 9.5 Weeks or some whatever 80s garbage she did, like No Mercy. Sure. I was in love with her for a very long time. Actually, I still kind of am. I mean, when I saw her in L.A. Confidential, that was gratifying.
That's amazing, man. And she won an Oscar for that, right?
Yeah.
And I was rooting for her to win that Oscar.
So was I. She was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect casting and perfect role. By the way, just went offhand.
It's one of those. Like it's almost a little bit like when Quentin gets just the right actor, like Robert Forster in Jackie Brown or something.
Excellent parallel, yeah. Or even to be a little more contemporary, Robert Downey in Iron Man.
Yeah, good point.
Perfect, yeah. So Kim Basinger, go ahead.
Kim Basinger is, we referred to it last week. There's Mrs. Robinson, who taught Christian about BDSM when he was a teenager or something.
Yeah.
And they're still friends. They're still pretty tight.
Yeah.
Tight, unlike Anna's butthole. So I mean, she just shows up in this movie and warns Anna that this isn't gonna last and shit, and
right.
Then he finds out she's saying that and yells at her, and Marcia Gay Harden throws her out of the party, and
another terrible.
And it never comes back, and it's not a fucking conflict.
It never comes back, and it's so confusing because, of course, we both watched this before we ventured out to the cinema. So I thought at the time, I was like, wow, knowing the way this series is going, we're never going to see her again. And I was very confused by the point of that entire interaction. It was almost more effective not knowing who this person was, this mystery figure.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. She's my LVP.
Oh, it's not her fault.
She's bad. No, it's a bad performance, a terrible character in a bad movie.
My LVP was very, very hard because there were at least 9 contenders.
Very, very hard. Unlike Christian's dick, always soft in those jeans.
That's correct. I'm giving this one, and this ties in nicely, actually, with my unplanned diagnosis of these 3 movies. I'm giving my LVP to E.L. James.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, for this one in particular.
For writing this bullshit.
For it didn't need to happen. Got her husband to write it. She's all over this movie. It's fucking terrible. And, my MVP... she's just, I think she's trying real hard, and I'm giving it to Dakota.
Dakota, I really think isn't bad in these movies.
No, she's the best part of them.
Yeah, she holds the screen, right? Like, I can totally see her, like Kristen Stewart, moving on from these movies and having a really good career.
Yeah, and I hope she does. And you know what's also interesting? I noticed it especially when I saw it in the theater. She has sort of like a nice combination of her parents' charm. Like, she's got kind of the Melanie Griffith, like, charisma and the Don Johnson, like, smile and all that. She's kind of one of those kids where I think it'll work for her if she picks the right roles.
One of those kids.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
A lot of Colin Hanks.
Good luck, Rumor Willis.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't think that one will.
Mm.
Yeah.
Remember when she walked naked in New York City? She said she was like making a political statement or something.
I don't remember. Maybe I was I living there?
I don't know. She was just around, topless.
Yeah. Rumor has it.
Mm-hmm. Listen, my LVP is Kim Basinger. My MVP. One thing I didn't talk about is the music. Remember I really liked the music in the first one, and you hated it.
Yeah.
I really like the music in this one too.
I'm sorry. Is that Danny Elfman or the song selection?
Not Danny Elfman. I don't know what Danny Elfman's doing.
Me neither.
But I do think the song selection is good. Like, I made fun of the Coldplay thing, but that's a good song. And Moon Dance. But like also like Christian is doing pull-ups at one point to like some classic Police, and and there's one scene where like Christian's just jamming around his fucking house to Lover You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley.
Okay. All right.
And the song that was written for this movie, I like even more than the Ellie Goulding track from the first one. I legit like this song. I think it should have been nominated for an Oscar this year. But I Don't Want to Live Forever by Zayn Malik featuring Taylor Swift, I think is a fucking dynamite song.
Okay.
Yeah, Zayn, of course.
Of course.
The second best member of One Direction.
Oh, yeah. Right, that's how I knew who you meant.
That's the power rankings, Henry. Of course, number 1, Harry Styles. Number 2, Zayn. Number 3, Niall. And then pulling up the rear, tied for last, the charisma vacuums of Liam and Louis.
Oh, goodness me!
That's right.
I was too busy being bludgeoned by all the terrible R&B throughout the movie to even remember the Police or Jeff Buckley. I mean, I remembered
Jeff Buckley, dude.
I remembered Van Morrison only when you brought it up. So yeah.
That's so weird. He's just fingering her, and she's like, "Where will you go? Down in the valley."
It's the wrong song. But
I know.
Oh, yeah, 50 Shades. All right, well, what are you ranking it? What are you giving it? Star?
Oh, 1. I mean, come on. Like, I can't even make, like, like 50 Shades of Grey, I'm, like, between a 5 and a 1 because I loved it, but it's terrible. Like, This is just bad.
I'm going to go also with a 1 star.
Okay. So, Henry,
yes, sir.
Talk about 50 Shades Freed.
50 Shades Freed.
It's filmed back-to-back. James Foley and Niall Leonard. James Foley directing, Niall Leonard writing. E.L. James' husband.
I should make a note that the first movie was filmed by somebody else too, and he was my MVP, Seamus McGarvey.
That's right. Who's the new cinematographer?
They decided he was no good, so they got this John Schwartzman. I honestly didn't notice much of a difference, but he's also got a huge fucking.
Yeah, there is a difference though. The first movie has more like shades and like, you know how I said like this, like 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed are weirdly blown out. Everything is overlit to high heavens.
He has a lot of big credits. The two biggest recent ones are he shot Jurassic World, and he's shooting the upcoming Star Wars Episode 9.
Really?
And he did The Amazing Spider-Man. He did Pearl Harbor, The Rock. He's got a lot of stuff. So
all those movies are lit pretty high.
He's got.
He doesn't like shadows. That guy
does not into shadows.
No. Anyway, okay.
Shades Free. You were doing box auto. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was released February. Hey, do you want to do superhero count, or do you want to?
Oh yeah. No, it's fine. Superhero count for 50 Shades Darker. We got the aforementioned Jack Hyde, played by the actor Eric Johnson.
Yeah, Whitney
Smallville
from the first season of Smallville. Yeah, everyone remembers Lana's boyfriend, who we thought was an asshole football player, and then started to be nice to Clark, and then he went away to fight in Afghanistan.
I know, that's how I remembered Smallville. And then the biggest one, of course, is my girl Kim Basinger, Batman.
Vicky Vale. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's it?
That's it, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
50 Shades Freed. Titled such because, we are free from watching more of these movies.
Fucking A.
That was a bad joke. That was like a fucking Gene Shalit joke. But because of the BDS.
I give it 2 smiley faces.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up from this mustache.
I love that shit, man. 1517 to Paris, more like the 1517 straight to my heart. Yeah, what a great film. Clint Eastwood does it again.
He's dead, right?
I fucking hope so.
I always used to confuse him with the other one who had the big mustache too.
Jeffrey Lyons?
No, Joel
Siegel.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I saw him once in Barnes and Noble.
I think I did too.
Goodness. We got to see if there's an interview somewhere on the dark web between Gene Shalit and Joel Siegel.
I would love it. Yeah.
Talking about something good.
Talking about their favorite Gary Marshall films.
Yeah.
Runaway Bride, he does it again. Hector Elizondo is a delight.
Success. Penny, your brother's is just as good as you are, Laverne.
Oh, don't get me started. It's my Penny Marshall.
Squeaky.
Hey, Penny Marshall, she directed A League of Their Own, right?
Yeah.
That's probably better than every Gary Marshall movie.
What is a Gary Marshall movie that's good?
Exit to Eden? I don't know. No, probably something did he do The Flamingo Kid?
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forgive us, folks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was genuinely curious. I didn't know if he'd actually directed a good movie.
The Other Sister.
Juliette Lewis is phenomenal.
I've got a great idea for a movie. It's about 2 retards that fall in love.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. What a great diversion that was. Henry, you saw 50 Shades Freed before I did somehow. So tell me about your experience.
Well, I couldn't see it on Friday, so I was lucky enough to catch it on its Thursday night premiere. And walked in there by myself for the 8 o'clock show. You know, figuring how am I going to do this? How am I going to do what I said I would do and say it's for a different movie? And then I said, nah, it kind of solved itself. What happened was I walked up to the marquee, and it was supposed to be 8 o'clock. But they didn't have any more 8s, so they put a 10. So I said, so of course it's this like 20-something girl at the desk, and I'm alone, and there's nobody even in the lobby, which is probably good. But so I said, hey, I'm embarrassed enough already. I got to watch this.
God, you did one of those?
Yeah.
It's for my podcast.
No, I didn't say. I said, let me tell you. I said, so I already got to watch this, but did I mess up the time? Because it says 10 and it's supposed to be 8. And she's like, oh, no, it's 8 o'clock. She goes, we just ran out of, 8s. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, she goes, oh, is it, I've never seen them. And I said, and I say, instead of just not saying anything, I go, I had to just watch all of them for a show, and so I had to review them. And yeah, and she goes, "Oh, are they bad?" I go, "Yeah, they're really bad." But here I am. And she goes, "Well, you can't talk about it if you don't come to see it, right?" Yeah, and I was like, "That's right. Thank you." And that was that.
She sounds like she was bored.
I think she was.
Yeah.
So then I walked into the theater, and there was about 2, 4, 6, 8. There was about 9 people in the theater. Couple of old women, one couple, and a lot of girlfriends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going to see the hot movie.
Yeah.
What was your experience?
Yeah, it was all girlfriends and couples.
Oh, so you had several couples.
Yeah, I had a bunch of couples.
Yeah. And when you approached, I'm sure you had no fanfare. You just said, one for 50 Shades Free, motherfucker.
I walked up and proudly said, I'll have 1 ticket for 50 Shades Freed, please.
Yeah.
And got my tick.
Yeah.
It was a 1:30 p.m. show on Friday afternoon there.
Okay, all right.
I walked up there. They were setting up for a weird event called Sexy Hair. It was for like...
What the fuck?
I don't know, man. Because at first, they were setting up like chairs outside the theater. And there were all these roses, like bouquets of red roses. And
where did you see it?
At the 34th Street AMC.
Oh, all right. A lot of action there.
Yeah, there were like gift bags and stuff. And so I thought it was going to be, it's like the first showing of the day of 50 Shades Freed. I thought it was going to be like, you'd walk out of the theater at the end of the movie and like they'd give you like 50 Shades fans and they could like film a thing. Like, I loved it. What a perfect ending.
Give you like free handcuffs and shit like that.
Right,
like
exactly.
Yeah.
But then I had to pee halfway through the movie and I went out and...
I did too. I left the movie as well.
It was for some kind of hair event.
I went to the bathroom in this movie. I never do that. I hold it. But I figured I'd be all right. And I was.
Always have to go to the bathroom in movies. It's one of the reasons I don't like going to theaters.
Yeah, it sucks. But I didn't have any problem leaving the plot of this and coming back.
No, I went during the trip to Aspen because nothing was happening.
I went shortly after that, I think. Yeah.
But so I went and it was all like I was the only person by themselves at this theater.
Right. Yeah.
And so I went and sat in the back row, which I always do at the movies.
Oh, I sat close to the front. I was the first. Yeah.
So I sat in the back row. I felt like I was out of the way. No one was looking at me. But then I thought about like how I must look to people. And like if I was there with a girl, I'd be making jokes about me. Like, who's this fucking dude sitting alone in the back row on opening afternoon of 50 Shades Freed?
Right.
Like, surely I'm jerking it. Right?
Did you wear a trench coat?
No, I took off my jacket. I was wearing a t-shirt and tight jeans. Some people on Twitter told me I should wear loose jeans. But I gotta tell you, I watched 50 Shades Freed yesterday, and I got nary a boner the entire movie.
You know what, dude? Same here, man. I mean, it's just, because I said it before, it's just like... It's exhausting.
After I saw 50 Shades Freed, I snuck into The Post, and The Post is a fucking sexier movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The secretary to Gary Oldman's Winston Churchill in The Darkest Hour
who plays that character?
Had me more aroused than anything in this movie.
I love it.
I don't know. I'd have to look her up. I don't know.
All right.
But I will, so continue.
50 Shades Freed. You get any good trailers?
Oh, they were all fucking garbage. Refresh my memory.
Well, I got all like trailers for like ladies. Like that was clearly the marketing. Too. So like then I saw The Post afterwards, and like it was all like the kind of bigger independent films from the first half of the year. You know, there was like a Saoirse Ronan film.
Right.
And
I saw an Amy Schumer thing.
I didn't see that. So I saw there was that one, Cock Blockers, with John Cena.
I saw that.
That looked so bad.
Oh my god.
Leslie Mann deserves better. And I saw twice yesterday. I had to sit through the Mamma Mia 2 Here We Go Again trailer.
Yep, I saw that too.
We'll be covering that in July.
Yeah. That was tough. These were tough things to sit through.
Yeah. Pretty rough.
I think there was a horror movie that might not have looked absolutely terrible, but I can't remember. Did you see any horror movie trailers?
I can't remember. Okay, 50 Shades Freed. It starts out... Oh, we didn't even say in the last movie they get engaged.
Oh, yeah, they get engaged.
Yeah.
Done. Oh, that actress is Lily James.
Well, they get engaged after... Oh, Lily James, she's good.
Yeah, she's very good. She's good in Darkest Hour. Yeah.
She's a really good actress. She was in Downton Abbey, and she was in that Cinderella movie. She was Cinderella.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. How's this doing in the theater?
Probably well. I haven't even looked at like the box office because it
says
just came out a couple
69 million
days
already.
Oh, it's a hit.
Same budget as last time.
Yeah. 55. Yeah, big time. It's gonna do just fine. So, 50 Shades Freed, they're on their honeymoon. So it starts off with like we get to see their vows and whatever. There's like a song, I don't remember what it is, and then they go on their honeymoon. They're like at a beach side or whatever, and it's a nude beach, Henry.
Right, yeah, it is.
And she wants to pop her top off, but
no bueno.
Christian's like, I don't want people seeing your boobs except me. Yeah. Only I can see those sweet titties.
And then he gave an offhanded remark about what else contributed to him not wanting her to do that, which wasn't plausible, but in a better written movie, maybe like, the plot you'd read on the back of a fucking napkin container at McDonald's. When he says, well, it's not for me, it's because of all the sleazy press that'll be around and you'll be in the papers. And that kind of got me thinking. I was like, okay, that's kind of legit, because you always see the National Enquirer snapping shots of celebrities on topless beaches and stuff. So if that's his legitimate concern, But of course, that's not what he leads with. He leads with the possessive shit.
No, that's a legitimate concern. I remember when I was...
Someone tried to take your picture?
No, but when I was in high school and I had Napster and I used to download naked pictures of celebrities, right. I remember there were some shots of Natalie Portman on a nude beach.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
God. It's true. They're all over the place. Remember that shot of Justin Bieber's dong?
No.
Yeah, someone got a shot of Bieber like walking around with his dick.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Got to be careful on the Riviera.
Sure.
They're always clicking.
So Taylor's with them on their honeymoon, which makes me really think, Henry, that he was supposed to be. I think in the books, if you asked a 50 Shades fan, and listen, if you've read the books, please get back to me. I think Taylor, their like driver and sidekick, whatever, he's supposed to be the breakout character of the series.
Max Martini.
Yeah, I mean he's a nothing actor, but like. Right. I really think like he's supposed to be the guy because he's over on the honeymoon. There's that scene where like he's like, I don't want Taylor to see your tits, and then they like cut to Taylor just like sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. So he was going to be the breakout, but he didn't.
Yeah. So they're married now. So in this movie we're dealing with married people problems. I mean, none of them are real problems, really. But
no. Like not a one are an actual problem. Yeah.
But so night one of marriage, they come home and she's like, "Hey, when are we gonna have babies?" By the way.
Yeah, night one.
And he's like, not into it.
He's like, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's the first night you're married. You have to have that conversation then.
Yeah, I thought it was a poor move by her, bringing it up during steak time.
Bad timing.
Yeah. And they're building a house for themselves.
Yes.
And it's being designed by Ariel Kebel, who most people, I'm sure, remember as Liam Stalker in seasons 4 and 5 of the 90210 remake.
That's where I knew her from.
Yeah. Liam, by the way, Matt Lanter from Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Oh,
she was stalking that guy.
Okay.
So she's like discounting Anastasia's opinions and she
very touchy-feely. Yeah.
Yeah, but she gives him a talking to, and that's the end of that storyline.
Yeah, that was over. I thought that was going to be a thing.
I thought she was like a threat. And by the way, she comes back later in the movie because there's these characters that they don't do anything with in these movies. Like, you'd think the fact that Anastasia's best friend has been dating Christian's brother this whole time would amount to something. Like maybe she'd find out something about Christian through his brother, but no, every time she talks to him, he's just like, yeah, Christian's a brave guy, good dude.
Nothing.
And
I gotta say, that actress, what's her name?
Ariel Kebel. She's a good actress.
She is good, and I kind of thought like, oh, this would be like a neat like femme fatale twist, and it's not. It's over.
Her sister's missing in real life, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. So if you know where Ariel Kebel's sister is, let her know. She's
let her know. Tweet us at the pod.
Yeah. So anyway, later on in the movie, there's this whole bit where now the best friend, Eloise Mumford, thinks that Christian's brother is cheating on her with this same lady.
Aye.
And then
don't forget Jose.
And then Anastasia sees them outside a window, and they look totally friendly. And that's the end of that storyline.
That's over. Over. Oh, we never mentioned that's why I wrote Jose's name down and for darker. Remember the photo exhibit he has?
By the way, I shouldn't even say this, but I guess I forgot his name was Jose, and he is all over my notes for this movie as Jorge.
Jorge is fantastic. He's a Latino character with depth.
I know.
Jorge.
So
that's okay. It's okay, Dan. They only call him Jose about 1,000 fucking times.
I know.
Jose, every picture is of me.
When's that? Oh, right. Oh my God, that was creepy as shit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. His photo exhibit where they're all her.
Anyway. Nobody comments that Christian buys all of them. There's no tension between him and Christian anymore.
Well, Jose, fuck. Yeah. Jose tries to mouth rape her in that first movie, and Christian saves her.
Almost body slams him.
And then in 50 Shades Freed, she's having some conflict with Christian, I'm not seeing enough of my friends. So Christian just loads all of her friends up onto a fucking private jet and flies them all to Aspen for a fun weekend.
Oh, by the way, Dan, clear your schedule this summer because I'm bringing my jet. I'm picking up all you guys. We're all going to go out. We're going to have a good time.
All you listeners are coming. Get ready,
everybody.
Get ready, Nick Vargas, Jonathan Watkins, all the all-stars.
All great. Yeah. All of them. You're all coming on my private jet, okay? I was going to go to Aspen, but I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah.
I just got to tell the pilot.
Okay. Who's your pilot?
Donald Trump.
John Travolta?
No, what's another third-rate actor who has a pilot's license? There's a bunch.
Michael Douglas. Hey, Christian has a pilot's license. What about that fucking sequence in 50 Shades Darker? There's that big helicopter crash that never amounts to anything. You think he's gonna fucking die in the mountains?
They're fine.
Yeah,
he got immediately rescued.
It's ridiculous.
Speaking of David Mamet, we get the edge there. That would have been a fun diversion in the movie. At least half an hour of him and Roz being lost and attacked by a grizzly. I would have watched that.
I'm pretty sure that happens in Twilight. They could have done it here.
So you were talking about Guadalupe and his friends. They get on the plane.
Yeah, so I was just amazed that Christian planned this whole thing and invited all those friends. So why would he invite Jose?
Because he likes Juan. He doesn't mind him anymore. So he's fine.
Yeah. All right. So the big storyline in 50 Shades Freed is Jack Hyde is on the loose.
Ooh.
And he has snuck into Grey headquarters and stolen some personal files about Christian.
Very easily, by the way.
Very easily.
Damn.
And we don't know what these files are, and it's a big mystery, and we never find out.
You know what? You're right. It never occurred to me, because you brought a little notepad to the theater, right?
I did.
I did not. So, okay, so I forgot. Yeah, because Christian even says, because Dakota interrogates him a little bit, well, what's in the files? And he's like, it's not important, nothing important. Whoa, that sounds to me like there's something important. No, nothing. No.
And so...
No, nothing. Tax returns.
They get security guards, 2 security guards on Anastasia.
Yeah, real good security guards.
And so he's on the at one point there's a car chase, which is terrible. It's it's a fucking Fast and Furious car chase in the middle of this movie for no reason.
Well, why don't you lose him? Okay, cue music and Dakota Johnson is off. It's a little Miami Vice homage, you think?
Yeah. And then she gets super fucking wet and they bone in a parking lot.
Yeah, where's Crockett and Tubbs when you need him? Did you get that reference?
Yeah, I got it. Hey, what about 50 Shades directed by Michael Mann?
Ooh. I like it. 50 Shades of Heat. The last of the 50 Shades.
I can see you boning with the anal beads. All right.
That song isn't in a Michael Mann movie.
It's in the pilot of Miami Vice, motherfucker.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ, you one-upped me. Well done. Wow, I'm going to have to come up with something before the show's over. All right, that's good.
So, Jack Hyde shows up in Anastasia's bedroom and with a knife or a gun to her head or something.
That's when I took a piss. I walked back into the theater and he was in her room.
Okay, and you think like, oh my God, some steaks, right?
Yeah, not the good-looking steaks they had earlier.
Oh yeah, that shit looked medium
really
rare. Loving
made me wanted to eat steak.
Me too. Hey, Henry.
Yeah.
You made a delicious steak when I was at your apartment.
That's right. Thank you very
your house, yeah.
Yeah, I made a very good steak. Yeah, thank you.
It was a great meal that night.
It was splendid.
So you think something's going to happen there, but then security takes him down. He gets arrested.
It's over.
That's when we go on the trip to Aspen, and I was so fed up I just gave up. But I was there enough for the part where Christian Grey sits at a piano and fucking performs "Maybe I'm Amazed" by Paul McCartney.
Okay, all right. Listen. Listen. I'm not a talker in movies. I'm not. I don't like when people talk. I get up and I move. I'm a shusher. Okay? When that happened, it was inadvertent. I said at I'll do the volume I did this at. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
First chord on the piano, and when he started vocalizing, I went, "Oh my God." I did it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't. It was a reflex.
Couldn't hold it back.
Couldn't do it.
Nobody only laughed. The only noise I made during this entire movie, I laughed out loud genuinely once at what I thought was a pretty good joke.
Well, oh, really?
Yeah. It's when they catch Jack Hyde in their house. And he goes like, subdue him. And he's like, she goes, I don't have anything to tie him up with. And Dakota Johnson goes, we do.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny. Oops, sorry.
That's quite all right. So he performs Maybe I'm Amazed, and everybody in the room looks at him like he's the fucking most amazing performer of all time.
They're amazed.
And Dakota, yeah, they are. And Dakota Johnson, Anastasia Steele says to like his brother, like, surely you've seen him do this before, and he's like, no one has ever seen him sing before. Never. Oh my God.
Never.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Jamie Dornan has the voice of an angel, I'll add.
Yeah. So we're like an hour into this movie. There's no conflict whatsoever. They're married. Everything's totally cool. Eloise Mumford and Christian's brother get engaged, and that's totally cool.
Very romantic in a nightclub.
So you need something. So it turns out Anastasia's pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
And he is pissed.
He is not happy.
No. So he goes out, meets up with Kim Basinger, comes home, blackout drunk.
Yeah. Lost control.
Yeah. Jamie Dornan doing some good drunk acting. And
not bad.
You know, and he falls asleep.
Well, he is Irish. So
Christian Grey?
No, Jamie Dornan.
Oh, right.
He knows how to be drunk.
Sure. Now, the next day, Anastasia Steele wants nothing to do with this guy.
No.
All right, so they got some real conflict. She's trying, but then Jack Hyde is out of prison. He gets bail.
Yeah.
And he takes Mia, Christian's sister, hostage. Okay?
Yes.
She's tied up to a chair, and and like a fucking shitty Bond villain or something. He goes, bring me $5 million in cash.
Yeah.
And so she does.
Yeah.
You know,
that was a very long sequence in the bank. Like, I get that it would be very hard to get a bank executive to give you $5 million, but like it was very oddly detailed. It was like, I'm going to need this, I'm going to need that, and she's like, let's just get the fuck out of here. Give me the thing. I'm going to need to call your husband. It went on and on and on.
Yeah, well, getting money is the one thing E.L. James does know how to do.
Because she needs to take her money and run, baby, because she is finished after this is over.
What? She's doing it again.
Oh, no. Don't. I didn't know this. What?
She's writing more books, Henry.
With these characters?
But it's just the same story. It's these 3 books told now from the perspective of Christian.
Oh, okay. Oh, but they're not going to fucking make a movie in that.
No, probably not.
But she'll still rink in the cash. All right.
Yeah. So, in order to get away from the security, Anastasia says, "Meet me in the library," and then she's gonna get out of there while he's going to the library. He gets into the library, which I noticed has 4 books and a pool table in it. And she goes to find...
what were the 4 books?
I couldn't read them, man. Probably 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, 50 Shades Freed, and Grey.
And How to Write a Screenplay.
Yeah, a Sid Field book. Okay, so she goes to rescue Mia. I really thought, because look, I know you got like Rita Ora as Mia, who's like a
I thought it was Lady Gaga.
No, it's Rita Ora. She finally has a fucking song on the soundtrack in this one.
All right.
And I thought it should have been Kate, the best friend.
It was a weird choice to
Wouldn't
kidnap
that
her.
have been more, like, would have meant more to Anastasia?
Exactly.
Like, who gives a shit that this dude kidnapped her sister-in-law?
Nobody cared.
It's weird. So she gets there, and, Whitney from Smallville says, "Thanks for fucking up my life!" And he slaps her. It's fun, and then, whatever, Christian shows up, rescues her, blah, blah.
I got confused again when Jekyll Hyde slaps Anastasia, and she's in a coma for like 5 days. What was that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she wakes up in the hospital bed.
I don't recall her hitting her head. I don't recall him. I mean, I don't get it. Like, he slapped her, and she's in a coma.
Whatever.
What is happening?
And when she wakes up from the coma, now Christian Grey is totally psyched to have a kid with her.
Well, he's had she's been in a coma presumably for a few years, so he's had time to think about it.
No, she hasn't given birth yet.
Right. They didn't. They stopped the pregnancy. They halted it and waited till she awoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, there's still no conflict. There hasn't been since the 3rd act of the first movie. And she watches him working out on his pommel horse. And we hear "Love Me Like You Do," the classic song from the first movie. And we get a big montage recap of the first couple movies.
That took me by surprise.
Me too. And then one last trip to the Red Room. She goes in there. She puts on like a fucking,
something,
a little outfit.
Yeah.
He's, of course, shirtless, wearing jeans. His classic Red Room look.
It's his costume.
Yeah. And we see him tie her up, and they're about to play.
And I was about to leave the theater. I stood up.
And she does a smile. Did you notice
that?
And that's
I saw that.
I thought she was pretty good there.
Yeah.
And
I stood up.
And they live happily ever after, and then there's a stinger.
Yep. Then I sat down.
Yep. So the stinger is just they have the baby, and looks like she's pregnant again.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, unless that was just an unflattering top.
That's pretty unflattering.
I think she was pregnant again.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's 50 Shades Freed.
50 fucking shades. We did it for you guys. We hope you love it. We went to the theater. We saw this. Yeah. What's your MVP LVP situation here?
Listen, you gotta give MVP for this whole ordeal to Dakota Johnson for being effortlessly charming and carrying me through this on her shoulders.
Yeah, I would have agreed, but I gave it to her in the second one, and I had a big MVP for this one. It's very special and important. So, you want to hear what my MVP for this movie is?
I'm excited.
It's the city of Seattle.
But
I'd really like
Seattle?
to go there. At least the helicopter shots were.
It's fucking bullshit, man. I don't think it's shot in Seattle. It looks like it's shot in fucking Vancouver.
It probably is. But I want to go to Seattle.
Now. Of course, just in the exterior shots, you get the Space Needle.
Yeah, I want to go to Seattle now.
I want to go to Seattle because, rock and roll history and because of Grey's Anatomy. This did not make me want to go to Seattle more.
Seattle's getting it. At least it was the one takeaway from at least seeing it on the big screen. I got big, nice panoramic shots of Seattle.
Yeah,
it's not a city that's used that much, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Yeah, my LVP was the thumping, pounding, and I didn't give it to this in the first two, so it has to get it from me somewhere. The intolerable music throughout.
Well, Henry, I will say to you, I defended the music in the first two movies.
You did?
It's indefensible in the third one. The song choices are bad and generic and nothing works, and it should at least have a good single. Like Love Me Like You Do earned it by The Weeknd from the first one, and then I Don't Want to Live Forever from the second one are excellent pop singles. And that's all I was looking for from this third one, and it doesn't even have that.
No, it sure don't.
No.
It's bad. Who's your LVP then?
Man. Part of me wants to go like Dakota Johnson MVP, Jamie Dornan LVP, but like LVP, man. It's so... Here's where I'll pull the E.L. James card.
All right. Oh, good call. Good place to pull it.
It's just so poor, and her husband writing these things, and I just think... there's so many talented people in Hollywood not getting shit made. You look at the blacklist they do every year of like the best unmade screenplays, right. And you look at the list of pilots that don't get picked up by networks from like brilliant writers, and
right.
I mean,
it's annoying. It's very bad.
You can scour, fucking bootleg bins of great pilots that never made it to air, and those are just the ones that got made. How many more scripts are out there just sitting in someone's fucking drawer?
I hear you, brother.
And this fucking lady got 3
it's tragic,
high budget wide release films made.
You know what it is, man? It's 50 Shades of fucked up.
I don't make love. I fuck hard.
Yeah.
So fuck E.L. James. She sucks.
Yep. 1 star.
1 star.
Rank them.
50 Shades of Grey by far, and I'm actually gonna put Freed ahead of Darker. Because Darker just has nothing going on. Freed at least has some like plot. Like the stuff with the third act is hostage situation kind of goes on a while, and at least there's some tension there. So,
okay, because I was gonna do 1, 2, 3, but you might have got me.
I'm gonna go 1, 3, 2.
All right, I will too.
And I have a big problem with 2 because honestly, the Stalker storyline is probably the storyline in any of these 3 movies I was most interested in, and they did nothing with it.
That's right.
And she's even brought up as a red herring in the third one, like maybe she's working with Jack Hyde.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking awesome. We're going to have like the super villains of 50 Shades working together. And then it turns out, no, she isn't.
No.
End of storyline.
She's a builder. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you meant the sub. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. It doesn't matter either way.
Okay.
Either one would have been good. Yeah. Superhero count. I got 2.
Okay.
I got the character we didn't mention, Boyce Fox, the writer she chooses.
Yes. Now this is the fella who she's getting his fan fiction published, and it does very well. And Christian walks in on them having a meeting, and of course, fucking accuses her of like flirting with him.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's played by an actor named Tyler, what is it, Hoechlin?
Tyler Hoechlin, who I believe is the titular Teen Wolf in the MTV remake of Teen Wolf.
Well, look at that.
The sexy Teen Wolf.
He is also in the Supergirl TV series playing none other than Superman.
That's right, yeah.
And the second one is the cop in this movie, the Japanese actor Hiro Kanagawa, and he was in Blade the series, which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah, starring Sticky Fingers.
All right. He was also in Smallville.
Of course.
And he was in Fantastic Four World's Greatest Heroes cartoon playing Mr. Fantastic.
Love it. Colorblind casting.
Yeah.
I like that actor. He's very good on Lost and Caprica, and he is good in one scene of this movie.
Yeah, he is.
Where Dakota Johnson asks him if he believes her, and he goes, "Listen, off the record, that guy's a lying piece of shit, and I fucking hate him."
Yeah, that was great.
But on the record, I have to listen to both sides of the story. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it. We did it. 50 Shades.